I hope that you can see my screen.
Yes,
Yes,
and
sir.
it's visible.
Okay, thank you. So during our last lecture, we were discussing the meaning of perception as well as the meaning of selective perception. Then we had also discussed the meaning of stereotyping and halo effect. Stereotyping we had discussed, and we were about to discuss halo effect. Now, under halo effect, an individual generalizes about a variety of attributes based on the knowledge of one attribute of an individual. For example, he is smiling, therefore he is also honest. That is called as halo effect. Now, sometimes what happens is we start judging the person on one particular aspect. In the example, it is said that if we have a belief in our mind that the people who smile, who always smile, are also honest. So, whenever we will be meeting a person whom we feel that yes, he is always smiling, we are not sure whether the person is honest or not. We do not know the person very well. But as we have that previous experience, or we have that previous belief in our mind that the person who smiles a lot is a honest person. So a unknown person whom we meet, and when we see that person smiling, automatically we develop a feeling that that person is going to be an honest person. Another example, suppose if we like a particular practice of a company, then we start feeling that all the product of the company will be good. For example, if we talk about, say, a company, for example, say Tata. Now, through various, say, mass media communication, or through the various advertisements, through the news articles, we have seen that it's a company which is contributing a lot in the society upliftment. Now, as a person, if I read that article and I come to know that it's a company which is doing enough or more than enough to uplift the downtrodden of the society. Now, in this case, I will have a positive image of the company. And in that case, even if I have not tried all the products of the company, still I will feel, or I will prepare a belief in my mind that all the product of Tata are exceptional, are very good in quality, are very good in service. So why I am doing it? Because one characteristic of the company, one feature of the company, one practice of the company, I, I am very much attracted towards that. And if I have read positive news about a company, automatically I develop positive feelings towards that company. And that is the meaning of halo effect. There can be a product which is manufactured by that particular company, which is not of that quality which the other company is also manufacturing. But as I have a belief framed in my mind because of that positive news which I have read in the article, I feel that all the products of the company will be of best quality. The service of the company will be best. So that particular type is called as halo effect. Now the next one is attribution theory. Under attribution theory, it can be divided into two parts. One is called as internal attributes, and the other one is called as external attribute. The internal attribute contributes to a person when a person is behaving in a certain way because of something about the person. And external infers or means a person is behaving in a certain way because of something about the situation. So internal attribution or internal attribute says that the person is behaving in a particular manner because of something which is related to the person. A person is shouting at the subordinates in the organization. A teacher is shouting at the students. Parent is shouting at the children or child. So this attribute can be because of the internal quality of the person. So that will be called as internal attribute. There are people, we all know that two types of people can be there. One are called as short tempered people, the other are very cool people who do not very easily lose their temper. Now, short temper people, even if small instigation is there, these people lose their temper immediately. तो कुछ लोग होते हैं जिन्हें बहुत जल्दी गुस्सा आता है, छोटी सी बात पर भी बहुत ज्यादा गुस्सा करते हैं. So that will be called as internal attribute of the person or internal quality of the person. It is there in the person that because of that attribute, because of that feature, because of that quality, the person loses cool, his or her cool very easily. And that is called as internal attribute. Now there are external attributes also. So in every person, internal and external attributes can be there. Now another person can be a very cool person, even if the other person is instigating him. He is a person who will not lose his temper very easily. He will try to maintain his cool, or if he will feel that okay, now the situation is going out of control, so instead of being present in the situation, he will leave from the situation. ऐसा भी हम लोग कई बार देखते हैं कि कुछ लोग बहुत जल्दी से झगड़ा करते हैं. जैसे मैं बाइक चला रहा हूं, अगर मैंने हॉर्न बजाया किसी से साइड लेने के लिए, तो आगे वाला अगर शॉर्ट टेम्पर्ड है तो इमीडिएटली वो पीछे गुस्से से देखेगा या रोकेगा, मुझे रोकेगा, झगड़ा करना लग जाएगा कि हॉर्न बजाया क्यों, दिखाई नहीं देता क्या, ट्रैफिक है. ऑल दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग्स वी often know it happens, and because of the attribute of the person. A person can lose his temper. Why he is losing his temper? Because it is his quality, it is his attribute. छोटी सी बात पर वो इंस्टिगेट हो जाता है, वो गुस्सा आ जाता है उसको. Another type of person can be that बहुत बड़ी बात पे या बहुत ट्रैफिक है, पीछे से एक आदमी बहुत जोर जोर से हॉर्न बजा रहा है, जो आदमी आगे कार में बैठा है उसके पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है बट रुकने के, क्योंकि आगे ट्रैफिक इतना जैम है कि वो इधर उधर भी हिल नहीं सकता, पर पीछे वाले को बहुत अनरेस्ट है शायद, इसीलिए वो हॉर्न पे हॉर्न बजाया जा रहा है. अब यहाँ पर अगर ये आदमी एकदम कूल है तो वो उतर के उसे बता सकता है कि आपको दिखाई दे रहा है कि आगे ट्रैफिक है, तो कितना भी हॉर्न बजाओगे तो कुछ होने वाला नहीं. यू हैव टू बियर इट विथ ऑल द पीपल हु आर facing that particular traffic. So this person is having a attribute, वो उसका internal attribute, उसकी internal quality है कि इतना उकसाने के बाद भी वो अपना झगड़ा नहीं करता है या फिर वो अपना टेम्पर लूज नहीं करता. So that type are called as internal qualities or internal attributes. Same thing is applicable to the employees who are working in the organization. One employee very easily loses his cool. The other employee can have a quality that he does not lose his cool very easily. Now, a very easiest example. Now, all of you or most of you, I will say, that will be fond of cricket. Now, in cricket, take the captaincy of Virat Kohli and take the captaincy of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. If we try to differentiate the captaincy pattern of these two people, we can very easily find out that MS Dhoni is a person who will not lose his cool in a stressful situation, in a very tense situation also. मैच के लास्ट ओवर चल रहा है और बहुत कम रन चाहिए ओपोनेंट को जीतने के लिए, काफी सारी विकेट्स उनके पास हैं, फिर भी he will not lose his cool, and that we have seen. And if we talk about Virat Kohli, he is very aggressive. He can very easily lose his cool. अभी नॉर्मल हम लोग देखते हैं, अगर अंपायर ने गलत आउट दिया ऐसा अगर विराट कोहली को लगता है, या डीआरएस के समय अगर कुछ भी ऐसा होता है, तो he go to the umpire also to fight. So not only to the teammates, not only to the opponents, but he can approach the umpire also to fight. Now this is called as internal attribute. That he is not losing his cool in a tense situation also. And that is called as internal attribute. Now external attribute means a person is behaving in a certain way because of something about the situation. Now sometimes what happens is, because of some external situation, a person behaves in a different manner, opposite. पहला हमने देखा कि वो उसका इनबिल्ट फीचर है, वो उसके अंदर एक फीचर ही है या क्वालिटी है उसकी, कि कोई बहुत शॉर्ट टेम्पर्ड रहते हैं, कोई बहुत कूल रहते हैं. अब हम क्या, एक्सटर्नल एट्रीब्यूट क्या रहता है? एक्सटर्नल एट्रीब्यूट मतलब कभी कभी सिचुएशन ऐसी हो जाती है कि एक जो एकदम कूल आदमी है वो भी अपना एकदम ही वो एग्रेसिव हो जाता है या वो टेम्पर लूज कर देता है, एंड दैट attribute is called as external attribute. Now sometimes you might have seen also that a person who seems to be very friendly, very gentle, maybe your relative, maybe your brother, maybe your sister, maybe your neighbor, whom you know that the person is very gentle. He talks to all the people very elegantly. But suddenly, on some day, you might have noticed that the person all of a sudden lost his temper. So it is not the quality of the person, that may be the result of the situation. शायद सिचुएशन की वजह से वो व्यक्ति अपना कभी कभी लूज टेम्पर लूज कर सकता है, एग्रेसिव हो सकता है. Same is the case with employees also in the organization. Manager is very cool, very calm minded. In a tense situation also, he goes to the employees, try to convince the employees or counsel the employees that what went wrong, what needs to be done in a very polite manner. All of a sudden, one day, all of a sudden, one day, the employees feel that in a particular situation, the person has reacted very aggressively. So situation could be very tense. Now the situation could be that the senior manager has pressurized the manager a lot, that I want this report now only. And as per his behavior or as per his internal attribute, the manager politely replied to the senior manager, okay sir, I'll try and I'll prepare that report and I'll submit it by the end of the day. Now some part or some information is to be sought from the subordinate. Now when this polite manager went to the subordinate and after say requesting them for once, twice or thrice, still the person is not giving him the report which he needs to compile and submit it to the senior manager. Now, in this situation, if he loses his cool, we cannot say that he has changed his behavior or he is showing changes in his behavior. Here, we will say that the situation made him react in that manner, and the change is rare one. It is not going to happen each and every day, because as he is a polite person, a cool person, and everyone has experienced that, everyone has known that, but because of some tense situation, on some day the person can behave in a different manner, and that is because of the situation. And if the person is changing his behavior because of situation, then that will be called as external attribute. That is the difference between the internal attribute and the external attribute. So to minimize conflicts, the organizational environment shall be such that there are very less chances of conflict. If there are less chances of conflict, automatically what will happen? That the person is not going to lose his cool. So situation will not change. So that is the meaning of internal attribute and external attribute. Now, internal attribute, factors which are internal to the person, his personality traits, moods, attitudes, abilities, efforts. Whereas external attributes are factors are external to the person. For example, the situational factors, other people, or luck. So these are external. तो internal जो इंसान के अंदर रहते हैं, external जो बाहरी सिचुएशन की वजह से वो इंसान उस समय के लिए टेम्परेरी फेज के लिए वैसा रिएक्ट करता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एक्सटर्नल. स्टेबिलिटी एंड कंट्रोलेबिलिटी. नाउ अंडर स्टेबिलिटी, how permanent or consistent the behavior is, the degree of control the person has over the behavior. Here we have to understand how permanent or consistent the behavior is. It means that if the behavior is consistent, consistent means that for more on more occasion the person is behaving in a particular manner. MS Dhoni behaves on more occasion in a particular manner, which is exactly opposite to Virat Kohli. So that means that the internal, that is the result of internal attributes. Now, controllability, degree of control the person has over the behavior. For external attributes, for external situation, the person has more control. For internal attributes, the person has less control than the external one. Because that particular practice, that particular quality has become a habit of the person. Now, the person, Virat Kohli, has developed that aggressiveness not in a day's time, not in a year's time, but since ages when he is playing cricket. Might be from school, might be from the end of the school, he had that aggressiveness in. So it is difficult to change the habit or internal attributes then compared to the external attributes. So this was related to the second unit, motivation and perception. Now we will move on to the next unit, which is called as group. Now again, group, everyone is aware of the meaning of group. So far, if you have any query, please go ahead, because I'll be taking 1 minute to share my screen. I hope that I am clear. My voice is clear to all. Is
Yes,
my
sir.
voice clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yes. Now, before we start with this, uh, yesterday we had shared two notices. One notice regarding the registration of National Digital Library event, and the other notice was related to submission of your this color passport size photograph. So for both the registration for NDLI event as well as submission of your passport size photograph, very few students have submitted the passport size photograph on the student email ID, as well as very few students have so far registered for the NDLI event. So please note, we are conducting these events only for your benefit. So it is your responsibility to register for that event. And it hardly takes a minute or two to register for a particular event. For the last, say, we have conducted so far around 10 events. So you all are aware of that what is the procedure of registration for NDLI event. Every Saturday, we are conducting that event, and 2 or 3 days prior to the date of the event, we normally share you the message that you need to register for that particular event. If in 3 days you are unable to register for that event, so that is not at all accepted, because every one of us can manage 1, 2, or at least 5 minutes from a day. So please spare 5 minutes at least from a day and try to fill the form or information which is asked then and there only. If we have mailed you in the evening, okay, you are busy, no problem. We are not expecting that immediately within second you should be filling that option form or that Google form or whatever that information we are asking. But at least before going to bed on that particular day, spare 5 minutes for us, fill that form, and then go to sleep. It will hardly take not more than 5 minutes. Because if we are planning to start from 2nd of March, we have to arrange for your or prepare for your iCards also. Now, for identity card, we need information. We will verify that information. Then we will submit that information to the printer. Then printer may take 1 or 2 days to print your iCard. So what we have planned is on the first day itself, you should get your iCards. Now it is up to you. If you will delay the information, then we will not have any option but to delay the iCards being given issued to you. So please do it fast. It will not take, both these tasks will not take more than 5 minutes. If you have not done it so far, before going to bed today, please do it, or make it a habit that before going to bed, before sleeping, just check once your email and your official WhatsApp group message. If there is a message on official WhatsApp group, or if there is a message through your in your inbox, mail in your inbox, reply it, complete that, and then go to sleep. You are also free and we are also free. By morning, we will be receiving all the information as per the schedule, right? So please keep in mind, and please try to complete the task on that day itself. Yes. If you have any query, any confusion, any doubt, please go ahead. Otherwise, we will start with the session. Yes, किसी को कोई डाउट है? आई कार्ड की जो इन्फॉर्मेशन हमने मांगी है वो आपको समझ में नहीं आ रही है, फोटो कैसा चाहिए वो आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, तो पूछ लीजिए। फॉर्मल फोटो चाहिए, वाइट बैकग्राउंड का फोटो चाहिए, फॉर्मल फोटो टी शर्ट नहीं होना चाहिए। सर ने कल ही बता दिया कि कोम्ड हेयर होने चाहिए, टी शर्ट नहीं, फॉर्मल शर्ट होना चाहिए, गर्ल्स के लिए भी फॉर्मल ड्रेस होना चाहिए। बैकग्राउंड सबका अगर एक रहेगा तो आई कार्ड सब यूनिफॉर्मिटी दिखेगी आई कार्ड्स में। दैट इज व्हाई वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग, और वी हैव given you that option of white background. कि white background ही होना चाहिए. Okay. Yes, if you have any
And
query, please go ahead.
yes, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Sir, what about the uniform? Like, we are going to, uh, there is no any clarification about uniform.
It is pending from the side of the students. Now, why I am saying it is pending from the side of the student? Because we need to check on 2nd of March how many students are coming to attend the sessions. If the number is more, then definitely we will have a uniform, or we can think of having a uniform. That is to be decided
Hmm.
by director, sir. But
Hmm.
if on the first day very few students turn up to attend the physical classes in the college, then we don't think that there will be any point in having a uniform this year at least. Because next year, if everything is clear and there is no more COVID-19 like situation, then we may think of, or if on March 2nd or in this first week when we have planned many activities for you all, if the number is more, then definitely we will think of having a uniform also, because uniform again plays a very important role. You all will look like a MBA student then. Otherwise, what happens? Somebody wears t-shirt, somebody wears track pants, somebody wears chappal, somebody wears sandals, somebody wears jeans. So that doesn't give a feeling of MBA student. So we do expect that if more students turn up for the physical classes, then yes, definitely. Because 2 years back, we were having uniform for all the students, and it was compulsory that time for all the students to wear uniform, not on all the days, but on Monday, on Wednesday and Friday. So 3 days a week, it was compulsory for all the students to wear college uniform. So that was 2 years back, but after the spread of this COVID-19, everything has stopped. So that is why we had also not decided upon this. But yes, definitely we will be. We are waiting for your response, that how many of you will be actually coming to attend the classes, right? Because we had circulated that message related to complete vaccine, how many doses of vaccine you have taken. There also, now also, even after sharing the information, say 4 5 days earlier, still we have not received the responses from all the students. Still, the responses are in 90s, not beyond 100 also. So, because of that, we are unable to take the decisions. But still, we will definitely be thinking once you start coming to the institute. You come to the institute and you discuss with director sir, then no problem. If director sir gives his and for this cultural week also, which we have planned, so we have planned, definitely we have planned various activities, various games also, but we need your participation also. It should not happen that on second all the students are coming. We want some volunteer, if possible, may come to the college tomorrow or day after tomorrow or next day also. So please come to us if you have good ideas how we can make the start of offline classes more interesting, more interactive, more enjoyable. We are very much open to accept your ideas also, your suggestions also. So do come. You are always welcome in the college. We will sit together, we will discuss, we will plan, and we will implement those plans accordingly. Because it should not happen that whatever games we are planning, whatever activities we are planning, after some time, or say on second day itself, if all the students turn up, then what will happen, that all the teachers will be conducting all the activities. We are expecting that some of the activities at least should be conducted by the students. So it will be possible only if you come to the college much in advance, right? So that was related to, yes, anything else, or else we will start with the session. Okay, thank you. So now we will move on to chapter number 3, or unit number 3, which is group and leadership. Now, first we will just read the definition of group, and then we will discuss the meaning of group. A collection of two or more interacting individual with a stable pattern of relationship between them, who share common goals, who perceive themselves as being a group, is called as group. Group possesses four common characteristics. Characteristic number one: interaction among the group members, common interest or goal, people see themselves as member, two or more people are needed to form a group. So the definition is very simple, definition is exhaustive, and definition is self-explanatory also. Now, for a group, more than two people are required, or at least two people are required. Then only we can have a group. Then common interest or goal should be there. Now, under types of group, we will be discussing the various types of group. But in short, we can say that there are two common groups. The other types we will be discussing later on. The two common groups are formal group and informal group. Now, we all are aware of what is formal group, what is informal group. Now, on our WhatsApp also, we are having two groups, right? One is official group, which can also be called as formal group. The other one, which you have prepared, which you have made, is an informal group. And now the definition of group says that when two or more people come together with a common goal for interaction, that is group. Now, formal group is a group which is controlled by the organization, and informal group is a group which is controlled by the members themselves. Now, here, very easiest, or the most easiest example we will say, that in formal group we have made a setting, and the setting has enabled that only admin of the group can post the messages. So the person who is admin of a group can post the messages. All the official messages will be posted on the, or are posted on the group. So that is why it can be called as official group or a formal group. Number of people are more than two. There is a common interest, but as it is controlled by the organization, that all the important circulars, all the important instructions of the organization will be shared with the student on that particular group, or on this particular group. So that group is called as official group, or we will say here formal group. Now informal group. Now here the students have created this group for what? For interaction among themselves. Common interest. All the students are from MBA first year. They want a platform where they can interact with each other, where they can share their feelings with each other. And that platform is group. Now, that group, as it is created not by the organization, and it is not controlled by the organization, as it is created by the students, and it is controlled by the members or the students, we can say that that group can be categorized as informal group. So group is combination of two or more people who are having common interest, who come together for interaction. आपस में एक दूसरे से बातचीत करना चाहते हैं, अपने फीलिंग्स एक दूसरे के साथ शेयर करना चाहते हैं. That is why the group is created. And that is the meaning of group. The two types of group, or very common type of basic types of group, one is called as formal group, the other one is called as informal group. Now here we will be discussing the distinction or difference between the formal group and informal group. Formal group origin. It is deliberately structured to serve organizational goals. The group which is created by the organization. Why it is created? It is created to serve organizational goals. For example, why we have created this official WhatsApp group? To serve the organizational goal. And what is the goal of the organization? That students should be updated with all the relevant information. When you will be having your exams, what will be the curriculum of MBA? What will be the date of registration for your exam forms? What will be the date of your scholarship form? What will be the schedule of your classes? All this relevant information the student should be aware of. With this objective in mind, the organization, that means the college, has started this group or created this group. So it will be a platform where the college will be able to share information which is required by you. So that is why it is said that the origin, if we talk about, formal groups are the group which are deliberately structured to serve the organizational goals. Now in the informal group, their origin is that it emerges voluntarily and spontaneously. On the day when the official WhatsApp group was created, some of the students who were there at that particular time in the college, they informed us that a parallel group is immediately created. So as it was created by the students to develop their interaction at a informal way, or in an informal way, where they can share their feelings, their information with each other. So that is informal group. Now activity, the manager decides about the activities of each individual and his interaction with others. Under formal group, informal group, members themselves develop activities, interaction and sentiment towards each other. क्या बोलना है, क्या नहीं बोलना है, कैसे इंटरेक्ट करना है, किसको इंक्लूड करना है, किसको रिमूव करना है, ये सब स्टूडेंट्स डिसाइड कर रहे हैं इनफॉर्मल ग्रुप में। जबकि फॉर्मल ग्रुप में क्या हो रहा है, कौन सी एक्टिविटी होंगी, वही एक्टिविटी होगी जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन चाहे। तो जो इंफॉर्मेशन बच्चों को दी जानी चाहिए, जो एम्प्लॉइज को दी जानी चाहिए, उतनी ही इंफॉर्मेशन वहां पर दी जाती है। कोई भी इनफॉर्मल नहीं, कोई जोक शेयर नहीं होते, कोई कविता शेयर नहीं की जाती, कोई कोट्स, गुड मॉर्निंग के मैसेजेस शेयर नहीं किए जाते। व्हाई? बिकॉज इट्स अ फॉर्मल ग्रुप। पर्पस, पर्पस ऑफ फॉर्मल ग्रुप, purpose is to serve the organization as mean of a formal end, whereas under informal, purpose is to provide social satisfaction and stability to the work groups. So the purpose or the main objective of forming the official WhatsApp group, or when you will be joining the organization, and those who are working right now, they will be very easily, they can understand that the structure in their department, or say a team of 5 members have been created. So that structure will be called as formal. The purpose is what? The purpose is to serve the organization as means of a formal end, whereas it is informal में क्या होता है कि सोशल सेटिस्फैक्शन, हम लोग एक दूसरे से जोक करेंगे तो अच्छा लगता है, कोई जोक शेयर करता है इनफॉर्मल ग्रुप में, या फिर शायद कोई कोट शेयर करता होगा, कोई गुड मॉर्निंग का मैसेज डालता होगा। दिस इज व्हाई दे आर डूइंग, बिकॉज everyone wants to interact with each other. The person wants to interact in the group with other group members. Next one, authority. Authority is given by the organization and it is delegated from top to bottom. Authority is earned from the members. Members are elected on the basis of their performance. Now here, under formal group, authority is given by the organization and delegated from top to bottom. एक ग्रुप है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जिसको टास्क दिया गया है कि ये आपका टारगेट है, इतना टारगेट आपको 5 लोगों को मिलके पूरा करना है. So here the organization has given a group a target. Now in that particular group also the authority will be from top to bottom. Now if we talk the example of the official WhatsApp group, अगर हम लोग कॉलेज का ही अगर एग्जाम्पल कंटिन्यू करेंगे, what is the authority top to bottom? That authority to the teacher should come from the director of the institute. Once the director approves the notice, then the notice is posted on the WhatsApp group. That is what top to bottom authority. As a teacher, I am not authorized to post a message without the approval of director, sir. So that is called as top to bottom authority, and that we can see, we can experience in our formal groups. In organization also the same scenario is there, and in our college also, or in any college you see, you take for example, everywhere the situation is same, because it is formal group, it is not informal group. Here authority is earned from the members. Members are elected on the basis of their performance. इनफॉर्मल ग्रुप में क्या होता है कि इट इज नो वन इज हैविंग द अथॉरिटी इज गिवन. अब सपोज एक इनफॉर्मल ग्रुप है, देयर 5 executives are part of this formal group, then 2 managers are part of this informal group, then one deputy manager is also part of this informal group. एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जिसमें 10 लोग हैं इनफॉर्मल ग्रुप में. अब ये 10 लोग एक साथ क्यों हैं? क्योंकि ये 10 लोग एक ही बस में आते हैं और ये 10 लोग एक ही सोसाइटी में रहते हैं. इसीलिए ऑल्दो देयर हायरार्की इज डिफरेंट, 2 मैनेजर है, एक डेप्यूटी मैनेजर है, 5 एग्जीक्यूटिव है और 3 सुपरवाइजर है, ऐसे 10 लोगों का ये इनफॉर्मल ग्रुप है. अब ये 10 लोग आपस में फॉर्मल ग्रुप के हिसाब से नहीं जुड़े हुए, ये इनफॉर्मल ग्रुप के हिसाब से जुड़े हुए. अब क्यों ये जुड़े हुए हैं? क्योंकि ये सब साथ में आते हैं, एक ही बस में साथ में जाते हैं, एक ही सोसाइटी में रहते हैं, लंच ये लोग एक ही साथ करते हैं और जब छुट्टी रहती है तो एक ही साथ टाइम स्पेंड करते हैं. तो दैट इज वाई they are close to each other to satisfy their social interaction, social needs. So informal group. Now in this informal group, as informal group is not based on hierarchy wise, we can say that a person who is manager in the group, we will have a highest authority in the group. But if say suppose that person is not very active in the group, but a executive is there which is lower in terms of authority than the manager, but that executive is very much active on the group. Now this executive may have the commanding position in the group, और ग्रुप का कोई भी डिसीजन अगर होता है तो सबसे ज्यादा इसकी चलती है, एग्जीक्यूटिव की. ऑल्दो एग्जीक्यूटिव इज, इफ हायरार्की वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, लेस इन हायरार्की देन द मैनेजर, बट एज ही इज द मोस्ट एक्टिव मेंबर, all the members support him. So here in informal group, authority, your designation doesn't matter. How much you are, say, supported by your group members, that is main, that is more important. So that is the meaning of authority in informal groups. Next one, communication. All messages pass through the chain of command in formal group. Now suppose in an organization the general manager has signed a notice, then that notice will be shared with the senior manager, then that notice will go to the managers, then that notice will be given to the executives, and then the lower level employees. Now that particular notice which is to be circulated among all the employees of the organization. तो क्या होगा अगर जनरल मैनेजर की नोटिस है जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, जो सबके पास जानी चाहिए और सबने उसको पढ़ के पीछे सिग्नेचर करना है कि आई हैव received the notice and I have read the notice, I have understood the meaning of the notice. तो what will happen in formal group? जनरल मैनेजर के बाद वो सीधा किसके पास जाएगी वो नोटिस? वो सीनियर मैनेजर के पास, सीनियर मैनेजर के बाद मैनेजर के पास. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि जनरल मैनेजर ने साइन किया और डायरेक्ट वो लोएस्ट लेवल पर आ गया. क्यों? क्योंकि जो अटेंडेंट था वो जनरल मैनेजर की साइन हुई, अटेंडेंट के पास रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दी गई कि आपको सबके डिपार्टमेंट्स में जाना है और ये नोटिस सबको दिखाना है और उस पर साइन लेना है. अब ये ऑफिशियल नोटिस है, ये सारे एम्प्लॉइज के पास जाना चाहिए। तो जो शॉप फ्लोर था वो जनरल मैनेजर के केबिन के एकदम पास में था। तो इसीलिए अटेंडेंट को ऐसा लगा कि जनरल मैनेजर ने साइन कर दिया है, पहले मैं सारे ऑपरेटर्स का साइन ले लेता हूँ, बाद में फिर मैं एग्जीक्यूटिव का लूंगा, बाद में लास्ट में मैं सीनियर मैनेजर का ले लूंगा, क्योंकि सीनियर मैनेजर इज हिज द ऑफिस ऑफ सीनियर मैनेजर इज वेरी फार फ्रॉम द ऑफिस ऑफ जनरल मैनेजर, और बीच में ये सारे ऑफिसेस आते हैं, इसीलिए पहले इनका सबका लेके बाद में उनका लेता हूँ। ऐसा कभी भी नहीं हो सकता। किस केस में? इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट फॉर्मल ग्रुप। यस, दिस इज पॉसिबल इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इनफॉर्मल ग्रुप, क्योंकि चेन ऑफ कमांड मीन्स कि हाईएस्ट, फिर उसका नेक्स्ट, उसके नीचे, उसके नीचे, उसके नीचे, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज चेन ऑफ कमांड, हायरार्की ऑफ कमांड। But that chain of command is not existing in informal group. हाँ, अगर इनफॉर्मल ग्रुप में कुछ बात हो रही है 10 लोगों का, जो हमने पहले एग्जाम्पल लिया कि उसमें एक मैनेजर है, 2 डेप्यूटी मैनेजर हैं, 5 एग्जीक्यूटिव हैं, 3 सुपरवाइजर हैं, और उनमें से उन्होंने उनका एक इंफॉर्मेशन है जो सबको पहुंचना चाहिए। तो वो अगर अटेंडेंट को बोलते हैं कि यार जब भी तेरे को टाइम मिलता है, ये नोटिस जो है वो सब ये 10 लोगों को पहुंचानी है, तो यहाँ पर स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ कमांड या चेन ऑफ कमांड इज नॉट प्रेजेंट। यहाँ पर जो उसे पहले मिलेगा अटेंडेंट को, उसके साइन ले सकता है। वाई? बिकॉज देर इज नो चेन ऑफ कमांड। नेक्स्ट, formal groups, the size is large, and the informal group size is small. Why? Because it is created by the organization, so all the members of the organization are part of this informal group. It is not created by the organization. Now suppose the person who has created the informal group might have added all the students of MBA-I, but few students may have left the group, as they would have felt that as it is not a official one, and they did not wanted to interact or wanted to be part of that group, they might have left that group. So that is why we can say that there the informal size is in informal group, the size is less. Because informal, why they are coming together? Because they enjoy being together, right? Now next, under formal group, nature, these groups are stable and continue for a longer period. They are stable, whereas these groups are unstable and they continue for a shorter period. I'll take just 2 more minutes and then we will end the session. The formal groups are stable and continue for a longer period. Suppose if it is created by the organization, it will be there for a longer period. Now suppose if the institute has created the group, so we can expect that this group will be there for 2 years at least, till you leave the institute or you complete your MBA program. Whereas the informal group, these groups are unstable and continue for a shorter period. Now it may happen that one group, now you have created one group, somebody might create another group and more students can join that group also. So in informal group, the period is shorter, the existence is shorter. In under formal group, controlled behavior, behavior is controlled by the predetermined rules and regulations. Now suppose even if we change the setting, and that all of you can add your comments or add your suggestions. If suppose if we change that setting, then also, so we may say give you some sort of instructions, that as this group is official, we should maintain decorum of that group, and instead of forwarding good morning messages or other quotes or other unnecessary messages, see to it that if you feel that your message is important and it is very much related to the official WhatsApp group, then only you should share the message. So here, what we are trying to do, we are trying to inform you that only if you feel that you have a very genuine suggestion or a genuine message which you want to share on the official WhatsApp group, only then you should share that message, otherwise not. Now the next one, under the informal group, behavior is controlled through common norms, values, benefits, and benefits of or sorry, beliefs of the group. So here, the behavior is controlled by the rules and regulations of the organization that we have discussed in formal groups, but under informal group, it is controlled by the values and beliefs of the group members. जैसे ग्रुप में किसी को क्रिकेट पसंद है तो शायद वो क्रिकेट के इंफॉर्मेशन डालेगा, किसी को मूवीज पसंद है तो शायद वो मूवीज से रिलेटेड पोस्ट उसमें डालेंगे. सो दैट इज कंट्रोल्ड बाय द टेस्ट ऑफ द पर्सन. लास्ट वन, sanction to the members. Members are rewarded and punished for the work done. Under formal group, members are recognized through non-financial rewards and punishment in terms of feelings, status, and prestige. So here, under the formal group, the organization, the company, suppose in an organization formal group is there, members are rewarded and punished for the work done. अगर एम्प्लॉई टारगेट अचीव करता है तो उसे रिवॉर्ड्स मिलेंगे, अगर टारगेट अचीव नहीं कर पाता है तो उसे पनिशमेंट मिलेगी. इन फॉर्मल ग्रुप, इन इनफॉर्मल ग्रुप, मेंबर्स आर रिकॉग्नाइज्ड थ्रू नॉन फाइनेंशियल रिवॉर्ड्स. यहाँ पर फाइनेंशियल रिवॉर्ड्स नहीं दिए जाते जो फॉर्मल ग्रुप्स में दिए जाते हैं. यहाँ पे पनिशमेंट इन टर्म्स ऑफ फीलिंग, स्टेटस एंड प्रेस्टीज. यहाँ पर पनिशमेंट क्या हो सकती है? The admin may remove the person from the group if we are talking about informal group. If we are talking about informal group in an organization, in a company, then what may happen? That the person may himself or herself leave the group if he doesn't enjoy that connect with the other members of the group. So that was related to formal and informal groups. In next session, we will see the types of groups. So thank you everyone for being present in today's session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.